As a company background, Yahoo is founded in 1994 by Stanford PhD student David Filo and Jerry Yang. Yahoo began as a hobby and transformed the way of communication with each other, share and create information. Yahoo has been in the market with variety of products and services, including search engine, email, messenger, new analytics service, and web hosting. There have more 20 offices in globalization. Headquarters of the company is in Sunnyvale, California. With more than 500 million users in the world, Yahoo Incorporation has been the world's largest global online network. Yahoo did some improvement and development over the last year. One of it is Yahoo introduced some new function and services which user can watch videos, listen to the music, compare product prices, and find travel deals. Yahoo also is trying to diversify the product and services so they can satisfy the need of the internet user to achieve their main objective. 100 million man is the main issue of Yahoo, which Yahoo's chief operating officer COO, Henry DeCastro, was fired after a mere 15 months on the job. He left the company with an estimate 103 million US dollar, which included a hefty severance package worth 58 million dollar. The compensation package DeCastro received was an issue because they disputing the compensation package given due to DeCastro poor performance. At first, one of the board of directors, Marissa Mayer, was highly confident about DeCastro's capability for the role and expressly stated that his operational experience in internet advertising and his proven success in structuring and scaling global organization in Google, which is he worked for Google before, and made him that he is the perfect fit for Yahoo. And under the contract, the Castro compensation package consists of three main components. First is the Castro will receive an annual base salary worth 600 US dollar and was eligible for an annual bonus set at 90% of his base salary. We also entitled to long-term incentive equity award, and this included restricted stock units with targeted valuation of 80 million US dollar. Third is DeCastro was awarded a one-time make whole bonus of 1 million US dollar cash to compensate him for forfeiting his previous employment benefit in Google. Analysts has attributed that DeCastro difficult the personality resulting in the formation of poor client relationship, and as a result he was unable to perform his role of increasing advertising revenue in the US market. And the board believed at the time DeCastro was hired that he had a unique set of highly valuable skill and experience that were key to returning the company to long-term growth and success. But clearly, DeCastro appointment was a mistake and he was well compensated for his failure.
Discussion question 1. Marissa Mayer realized that hiring CEO Henrik DeCastro was a mistake. Did the board aware of the decision taken by the CEO? And the discussion objective is to discuss the importance of effective decision making and the responsibility of the board. According to Company Act 2016, it is required for a director to exercise his power for a proper purpose and in good faith in the best interest of the company. All directors should objectively discharge their duties and responsibility at all times. Also, it is stated in Section 211, Subsection 1 and Subsection 2. Section 211, Subsection 1 stated that the business and affairs of a company shall be managed by or under the direction of the company. As well as in Section 211, Subsection 2, the board has all the necessary power for managing and for directing and supervising the management of their business. So next, we move on to the role of the board. According to Malaysian Code Corporate Governance (MCCG), the first one is to review, challenge and decide on management proposal for the company, and also to monitor its implementation by management whether the outcome will be beneficial to the company or not. The board should bring objectivity and broad consideration by scrutinizing management proposal. The board should be satisfied with all the relevant consideration have been taken into account in the submission of the proposal or also the decision making. The day-to-day operational function must be clearly defined by the board management and the overall responsibility of the board by clarifying the duties and responsibilities of the board party, which is the management and the board. In addition, the board must ensure that the goals and the targets set by management are met and in line with the company long-term objective. So now we move on to the second point, is to supervise and assess management performance, whether to determine the business is being properly managed by top executive or not. The board is obligated to oversee the performance of management while is maintaining a relationship that is supportive yet vigilant. There should be a comprehensive process for requesting and considering report from the nominating committee on the performance of the board committee and also for individual director. The board should also put in place a key performance indicator KPI for the executive management to ensure that the management strategy and the performance will align with the company's strategy objective. The KPI should relate with the company business activities, the targets set by the board, and the company short, medium, or long-term objective. And for the third point is to ensure that the senior management has the necessary skill and experience, and there are measures in place to provide for the orderly succession of the board and senior management. The board should ensure that the candidate appointed to senior management position are of sufficient caliber, and that the collection competence of senior management will allow them to be effectively lead the operation of the company. The board should also be satisfied that there are plans in place to provide for the orderly succession of the board member and senior management. The absence of succession planning can result in hasty promotion of individuals who may be unsuitable or not ready for the position. In considering a senior management vacancy, the board should benchmark within internal candidate against external applicants. We move on to the next part, which is I will explain about the importance of having effective decision making in the organization. So there are 3 points here that are highlight from the according to FRC guidance. So the first one is well-informed and high-quality decision making is a critical requirement for a board to be effective. Board can minimize their risk of poor decision by investing their time in the design of their decision-making policies and the processes, also including the contribution of committee and obtaining input from the key stakeholder and also from the expert opinions. For example, if the decision-making by the senior management or top management is not strong and weak, the board may disagree with the decision if it is risky to the organization and also to the stakeholder. Next is to provide sufficient information to the board. The Chief Executive Officer, CEO, is responsible for the day-to-day management of the business in line with the strategy and long-term objective approved by the board. The CEO will report to the chairman and must prepare regular, informative and accurate update for the board member in order to facilitate decision making. He or she, which is CEO, is responsible for all executive management matters affecting the organization. The success of the organization greatly depends on the drive, on the leadership, integrity, experience, and also the effectiveness of the board. And last point is, since there is no fixed rule about the frequency of having official meeting of the board, having any meeting of the board, it can be vary from monthly to annually. Meeting regularly is essential for the board to discharge its duty effectively and to allow adequate time for consideration of all the issue falling within inside of the company. Apart from that, Meeting regularly is not only to discuss issue that arise that important. It is also possible to discuss any question or any opportunity that come into the company. To applying this theory to the case study, Marissa Mayer, which is the CEO of Yahoo, did not really explain to the board who is the new potential COO, Chief Operating Officer. What she did is, instead she delayed the answer for some time. She did mention someone professional and reliable from Google, but she did not tell his name to the board committee and to the board. And 3 weeks after the board got news about the COO, the board only received a call from Henrik De Castro and still haven't seen his face yet. This decision is fully taken by Marissa Mayer, and this decision become one of the biggest decision that Marissa Mayer ever made. As a conclusion, if all the responsibilities of the board is followed and practiced in their business, this issue is unlikely to occur and the risk of failure is low and can be avoided. Hence, it is vital for the board to discuss carefully together and take some time to do a research before taking any action. Apart from that, sometimes ex-director will also need support or opinion from other director as well to make the decision making more effective.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day to Madam May and my fellow friends. So I will proceed to discussion question number 2. The question is, did Yahoo board committee participate in appointing Henrik De Castro as COO position, which is the Chief Operating Officer in Yahoo company? The discussion objective for the question is to discuss and clarify the use of board committee. As you can see from the slide, the use of board committee allows the directors to deepen their knowledge of the organisation. Therefore, the directors can actively engage and fully utilize their experience. The existence of committees can indicate to investors that the board is taking a particular issue seriously. The delegation of work to committees of directors helps and makes the time use more efficient. Lastly, the committees also make recommendations for action which helps in the process of decision making. For the application of case study, despite facing widespread criticism, Mayer, the CEO of Yahoo company, maintained her position and went ahead with the hire after receiving board approval. De Castro's compensation package on 15 October 2012, Yahoo made its offer to De Castro to serve as the company's COO. Pertaining to the statement of the case study, the company's board said most of the severance stemmed from the cost of luring De Castro from his previous job at Google. Like many other senior Google executives, De Castro would have received millions in stocks by staying at the company. Therefore, this prompted Yahoo to make up for some of the Google awards which De Castro had to relinquish when he defected. Yahoo's compensation committee also said in its defense of De Castro's severance pay. The statement is, the board believed at the time Mr. De Castro was hired that he had a unique set of highly valuable skills and experiences that will help be key to returning the company to long-term growth and success. However, the compensation committee ended up having such a dim view of De Castro's performance in 2013 that it decided not to give him a bonus, but he was eligible for a bonus of up to $540,000 or 90% of the $600,000 salary that he received the previous year in 2013. This concluded that Yahoo board committee did participated in appointing Henrik De Castro as the COO because Mayer went ahead with the hire after receiving board approval. Therefore, the board also believed during the time Mr. De Castro was hired, that he had a unique set of highly valuable skills and experiences which will be beneficial to Yahoo. That's all from me. Thank you.
Proceed to next slide is the discussion question 3. Yahoo provide Henrique de Castro with severance package as he has Chief Operating Officer (COO) position in the company. Does this use of golden parachute are ethical to the business? Next, discussion objective 3. The main business of use golden parachute agreement is to executive director and how it ethical to Yahoo business. The use of golden parachute agreement. Golden parachute are thus named as a such because they are intended to provide a soft landing for employees of certain level who lose their job. A golden parachute consists of substantial benefit given to top executive if the company is taken over by another firm or the executive are terminated as a result of the merge or takeover. Golden parachute are often viewed as a form of excessive compensation because they provide senior management with substantial payouts following an acquisition while other stakeholders are subjected to layoff. Golden parachute are lucrative severance package into the contract of top executives that compensate them when they are terminated. The company compensation committee will generally have retained a third-party compensation consultant. The consultant should be asked to advise the board regarding the reasonableness of the golden parachute payment package, especially those provided to senior executives. The consultant should be estimating the value based on the reasonable estimation of the sale price for the company. For example, not necessarily the current stock price, so that the board can best understand the estimate value of the package under considerable. Business ethical and purpose of golden parachute. Golden parachute ensure effective corporate governance that in turn preserve the firm value for all stakeholders. Boards of directors enter into parachute agreement to protect recently hired CEOs' human capital during period of financial uncertainty and potential takeover activity. From ethic viewpoint, golden parachute are available to all stakeholders because they encourage merge or acquisition in lieu of bankruptcy, provided golden parachute clauses to high-level company executives. Companies are able to hire and retain top talent. Golden parachute are used in attracting top talent. Executive want security, especially if the company is industry prone to merge and execution, or if the company experience a high executive turnover rate. If offering golden parachute widen the pool of applicants and attract high-level employees. Controversy surrounding golden parachute. The use of golden parachute is controversial. Supporters believe that golden parachute made it easier to hire and retain top executives, particularly in merge-prone industry. In addition, proponents believe that this lucrative benefit package allows executives to remain objective if the company is involved in a takeover or merge, and that can discourage takeover because of the costs that are associated with the golden parachute contract. Opponents of golden parachute argue that executives are already well compensated and should not be rewarded for being terminated. Opponents may further argue that executives have an inherent fiduciary responsibility to act in the best interest of the company and should not need an additional financial incentive to remain objective and act in the manner that best benefit the company. In addition, many people who disagree with golden parachute argue that the associated costs are minuscule compared to the takeover costs and as a result can have little to no impact of the outcome of takeover attempt. Then there is the golden handshake. It is similar to a golden parachute in that it offers a severance package to executives when he or she becomes unemployed, while both terms describe severance package given to such executive upon the termination of duty. A golden handshake goes further to include the severance package granted executive upon retirement too. Application to case study. The 58 million severance package value is attributable to Yahoo rising stock price while DeCastro was with the company. The Security and Exchange Commission filing indicate that the package was worth only 70 million. In October 2012, by early 2013, the parachute had increased to final size of 58 million. From that, there are three main factors contribute to the size of DeCastro's severance package, which is the first one factor was largely associated with the composition of the severance package. It was structured in a way such that its value will rely primarily on the company's performance and how well its stock performance. The equity components caused a spike in the severance package value, as Yahoo stock price has appreciated by nearly 116% from the date of signing of the employment contract to the date of termination. DeCastro termination occurred when Yahoo stock price was at its highest in almost 10 years. Analysis traced the increase in stock price to Yahoo 24%, stake in China Alibaba Group. The second factor which contributes to the size of DeCastro's severance package is that fact that Yahoo has to compensate DeCastro heavily when he was poached from Google of the 58 million US package. US 3180 million was in the form of Medworld RSU restriction stock unit. In Yahoo 2013 proxy statement, it was explained that this one-time Medworld RSU were to buy out the compensation value that the new executive forfeit when they joined Yahoo. The compensation committee of Yahoo believed that this will mean RSU will enhance the executive immediate financial stake in Yahoo and serve as a retention mechanism. Lastly, DeCastro's severance package was widely seen as a golden parachute. This golden parachute provides a soft landing for the executive upon termination. Such agreement may arise from stakeholder pressure and public scrutiny, which may lead companies to structure severance package to include less cash and more equity.
Assalamualaikum to Madam May Sapura and my fellow classmates. My name is Nur Adila Nordin and today I will be presenting to you on discussion 4. The discussion question states that why did Yahoo decided to compensate Henrique DeCastro with the position of COO with a higher payment than Marissa Mayer, who is the CEO, and how this issue is related to corporate governance problem. Hence, the discussion objective is to explain the importance of remuneration committee and the risk of excessive executive compensation package. Moving on to the next slide, which is the role of remuneration committee. The first role is that it requires the committee members to have a thorough understanding of the company and the internal and external forces that shape the director and the executive remuneration. Second, members must also be aware of the external pressures to link remuneration with performance. Third, the role of the remuneration committee in corporate governance is to help boards fulfill their duties with integrity and in an ethical manner. The next slide is regarding the executive compensation. When an improper compensated executive happens, it can cost shareholders and company money and can produce an executive who lacks the incentive to increase profit for the company. The second point is a reasonable and fair compensation system for executive and employees is fundamental to the creation of long-term corporate value. The third point is when an executive compensation is poorly designed, it can reward decisions that are not in the long-term interest of a company. In application to the case study, Yahoo has appointed Henrique de Castro of Google as its new Chief Operating Officer with a compensation package of up to $58 million. De Castro will get an annual base salary of $50,000 per month, amounting to $600,000 annually. Regarding to the case, the committee should not have left so much of the negotiation of De Castro to become COO with Mayer. The committee should have been more involved directly. Mayer and De Castro had been colleagues at Google until just weeks before the negotiation began. The negotiation should have been handled directly by one or more directors. Soon after Mayer started at Yahoo, she was contacted by De Castro at that time, who was the president of media, mobile, and platforms at Google. De Castro indicated that he would be interested in becoming COO, the number 2 position at Yahoo. Mayer apparently concluded that De Castro's suggestion was a good one, and on September 12, 2012, she told the Compensation and Leadership Development Committee of the board at Yahoo that she was having discussion with a person to take the number 2 role at Yahoo. However, she did not identify De Castro but explained that it would take a significant compensation package to attract the individual she was talking to. Besides that, the committee should have been more fully informed as to a very complex package. It should have had a better understanding of how the package worked under different circumstances, including different terminations of employment. This would include an understanding of the values that could be realized under different terminations and how those values compared to severance provided to similarly situated executives in comparable companies. Moreover, a compensation committee should be more careful not only in the amount but in the design of the incentive awards it makes to a new executive. Thank you. That is all from me.
On this issue, we can conclude that the responsibility of director and board of committee participation are significant in each company, especially in terms of appointing any level of leadership. This is because every leader has their own role to achieve the main objective of the company. Besides, mistake in appointment of leadership can clearly giving the negative impact to the companies and the surrounding of workplace, especially to other employees. Plus, based on Yahoo issue, we can clearly see that the issue can affect to Yahoo reputation, which is not good for their future achievement.